we meet Aries. Aries sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all Aries starting today, the 20th of November, 2024. This is Ariel and today I'm reading with the Keymaster Tarot. And I've already purified with my homemade version of this 300-year-old eau de cologne formula. Now I've included a link to the video so that you can watch how you can make your own version of this. And I've also included a link to purchase this deck. And those links are in the video description of this video on my YouTube channel. Let's see what's in the cards for all you gorgeous Aries. Starting with the 5 of coins, followed by the Emperor, and then the 5 of swords. Okay, the 5s of all the signs, Aries, you and Scorpio both, you do okay with the 5s. The 5s are not as big of a deal for you as it is for the other signs, you and Scorpio, just because it's your ruling planet. That doesn't mean that we don't want to talk about these things, but a lot of times when the 5s come up, people go, but when it's in Aries, it's actually, especially since it's with the Emperor here, I think this is pretty cool. What you don't want to be though, Aries, and you don't ever mean to be, rarely do you mean to be, sometimes you do, but a lot of times you can come off as being a bit of a jerk. Not when you mean to be, not on purpose. It's just that sometimes you get so into your Ariesness, you get so into your martialness, which is what this reading says right here, is that you are really in your Ariesness right now, that you're not aware that not everybody else understands what that means. Not everybody else handles it like you do. And for the most part, the way people perceive you is very wonderful, is very friendly, is very positive, is very fabulous. And so when the Ariesness comes out, when the martial qualities come out, and sometimes you can seem a bit angry or scary, it surprises people. They're not ready for it. And just be aware of that. You don't want to alienate people unintentionally. And sometimes that can happen if you are really overdoing your Mars personality. Now, I'm going to open this up, but just because this is 3 Aries cards all at once, 2 Mars and 1 Aries card, I'm not so much looking at the specific meanings of each card on this bottom panel. I want to put out this top panel first, because it's making a very clear statement that you are in your Ariesness. Okay, so we've got the King of Cups, the Page of Coins, and the 3 of Wands. So this is what you're doing with your Ariesness. And it's very positive. I'm very proud of you. One thing that you're doing is you are becoming more spiritually masterful. And that's exactly what you should be doing. You're using all of that Aries Mars energy, or you have been, it looks like, channeling it into your own spiritual growth. That's the best use for it. That's the best use for it. The next thing I see you doing is getting some new inspiration. You see how this, I love how they've captured that. Just really just being inspired, finding that light bulb is coming up in your head about finances. Now, for some of you, the finances have been kind of scary or worrisome. And you're realizing you don't have to worry about anything. Hopefully you're realizing that. If you're not, it's time to sit alone and just allow spirit, all that spiritual stuff that you've been working on, allow it to inspire you so that you can see, well, I have nothing to worry about. I have nothing to worry about financially. I have to all I need to do is get my mind focused in the right way. And that's really all I need to do. And any actions that I need to take are going to be shown to me in the moment. Right? So this 3 is talking about the manifestations are starting to come up that you for many of the projects that you've been working on for so long. I think a lot of, your energy, it seems to be having been placed in a spiritual perspective, like you've been really working on yourself, it seems like, for most of you. But also it seems like there's been some career or work or creative work, jobs, things like that you've also been working on. And maybe not feeling like you've been getting as far along in those areas as you'd like to. And it's telling you here to take heart that all of those things that you've been doing are not for nothing. In fact, you're going to start seeing more and more evidence that those things are growing into something quite substantial. What you don't want to do is allow that Aries Mars kind of wrath to burn the fields. You know what I mean? You don't want scorched earth right now, because scorched earth is going to scorch all the things that you've been longing for and that you've been working on. So just be aware of that. I really don't think you are. This just, when I see this amount of fives in a normal reading, I'm like, okay, we got to really talk about a few things. But they're bookmarking this Emperor card. So I just really think that you're finding your power. I really don't see this for you, Aries, as something negative necessarily. But do watch out that you're not accidentally hurting people. Because no Aries I know really wants to hurt people, but sometimes we can. Sometimes we can accidentally, just accidentally. Sometimes our auras in and of themselves have little shards that it's like people are just so used to us being so sweet and kind and they love us so much. And then when we move the wrong way and that shard in our aura hits them, they're like, ow. Geez, what's wrong with you? They don't understand that it's just sometimes our nature to be either very bristly or to be overly honest to the point where we don't have tact. Sometimes, it's easier for us to just to say what's on our mind than thinking about the repercussions of saying something. And for the most part, that gets us through life okay, because we have most Aries have a level of charm and kindness that it's not really that big of a deal. But right now, since you are so immersed in the totality of your sign and in the Mars energy of your sign, just be aware, just be careful. It's really the time to ask yourself, what kind of emperor do I want to be? Do I want to be mean? Do I want to be kind? Do I want to be thoughtless? Because it's not so much meanness, it's thoughtlessness. It's carelessness that you want to avoid. Be careful of how you say things. Because if you mean to hurt somebody, fine, then go ahead and hurt them. But if you don't mean to hurt somebody, then take extra care. Just take extra care with how you say it. And a lot of us don't feel like, well, it's not up to me to, sort of censor myself. If they can't take it, that's their problem. It's not. It's your problem. It's really your problem, because most people don't have that. Most people don't understand that level of brutal honesty that you can sometimes come up with. So this Emperor card is telling you just to study yourself and to go that extra mile and to find, not only because you have kindness in your heart, but it doesn't always translate when you're really in your Ariesness. So just be aware of that and just have the intention. I want to get my point across. I want to be honest. I want to do all the things I want to do, and I want to be kind. I don't want to hurt people. I want to help people. I want to contribute to the goodness of the world. And the way that I do that is not only by having good intentions, that's part of it all, and your intentions are perfect. Your intentions are great. There's nothing wrong with your intentions. But good intentions aren't always enough. We also have to take responsibility for our delivery. We also have to take responsibility for our bristliness and our fieriness. And we don't, it's like just because you can take the blowtorch doesn't mean everybody else can take the blowtorch, right? Just because it doesn't hurt you because you're a creature of fire doesn't mean that everybody else isn't going to get singed and wonder what happened, right? And so many people just love you so much that they're not going to come out and say it, and they'll just be hurt and take it upon themselves, and they'll never let you know how much you hurt them. And you didn't mean to, and they know you didn't mean to, and so they don't want to start a thing, and so they're just going to go be hurt. You don't want that. So rather than do that, take extra care with how you are treating people and the way that you are treating people and the way that you are communicating with people, right? And not being careless with the blowtorch that is you, which is a wonderful thing. You're a wonderful person. And that's what I'm saying. Everybody loves you. And so when everybody loves you, they give you a lot of slack, right? But I don't want you to take that slack. I want you to be more aware of who you are, so that you are more powerful, and you are going to be extremely happy with the results. You're doing everything right. You're right on the right track. You're going to be very happy with the successes that are coming, very happy with the financial things that are happening, extremely happy with your spiritual progress. You're doing great. The only thing that I see in this is be more gentle and kind with other people. Even when you think you're being gentle and kind, sometimes not so much. All right, so just be aware of that. And you're doing great. You're really, really in your power right now. And so I love that for you. All right, Aries, I'm proud of you. You're doing great. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. We'll see you, Aries, in another 2 weeks for another reading. Until then, blessed be.